soccer mom by day, sexy escort by night, a mother of three mysteriously goes missing.
She would never have not come home.
As detectives probe her two ex-husbands,
My husband and I were in a fight.
her torch car turns up, along with a trail of scattered clues. Does her secret life hold the key to her murder?
What if everything you thought you knew about someone was a lie? Paige Bergfeld seemed like the perfect mother and businesswoman, adored by her community.
She raised kids by day
Paige was a soccer mom.
and peddled fantasies by night.
Hello, you've reached Models Inc.
But this loving mother's double life caught up to her, leading to a shocking disappearance.
Until one summer day in 2007, when she vanished without a trace. The clues that followed uncovered a hidden life filled with shocking secrets.
Ultimate betrayal she never saw coming. Take a look.
I was born in a small farming community of 1,100 people in the Midwest. My life was pretty normal until I met somebody and we had fun together. I trusted him until one night he ended up raping me.
Secrets that would eventually lead to a chilling discovery. Stay with us to learn how a seemingly perfect life can spiral into darkness, and why you won't believe the twisted truth that shocked everyone in Grand Junction. Don't miss this mind-expanding story. The shocking disappearance. In the scorching summer of 2007, the small town of Grand Junction, Colorado, was rocked by the sudden and unexplained disappearance of Paige Bergfeld. A 34-year-old mother of three, Paige was a respected and seemingly perfect woman, an entrepreneur, a loving mother, and a familiar face in the community. Her life was the epitome of success and stability, but one evening, she vanished without a trace, leaving behind a string of questions and an unraveling mystery that would take years to solve. Who was Paige Bergfeld? Paige's life had always seemed like a storybook. She lived in a spacious house near the river, surrounded by the beauty of Colorado. Her family adored her, and her children were her world. She had the perfect career, running her own business, teaching dance to local children, and selling kitchen accessories. To the outside world, Paige was the picture of maternal love and business acumen. But no one knew about the darker side of Paige's life, the secret she kept hidden from even her closest friends and family. The call that shattered everything. On June 29, 2007, Paige's parents received a call that would change everything. Paige had been missing for over 24 hours. Despite her usual routine and constant connection with her family, she had vanished. Her children, frantic and confused, called her repeatedly to no avail. Her ex-husband, Rob Dixon, also grew worried and contacted the authorities. The search began immediately, but there was no sign of Paige. Investigators turned to her past relationships, seeking clues that could explain her disappearance. The first suspect, her ex-husband Ron Bagler, was quickly ruled out after thorough questioning. He had been the last person to see Paige, but there was no evidence to suggest foul play. Paige's double life. Just as the investigation seemed to stall, an unexpected discovery came to light. A detailed review of Paige's phone records revealed something shocking. Paige had been living a double life, one that even her family had no idea about. Beyond her role as a devoted mother and businesswoman, Paige had been operating an escort service under the alias Carrie Paige. She had been running an illegal operation for months, meeting clients for both in-call and out-call services. The revelation was devastating. To her parents, it was unthinkable. To her friends and neighbors, it was beyond comprehension. Paige, the woman they knew as the perfect mother, had secretly been involved in the adult entertainment industry. But the question remained, did her double life play a role in her disappearance? Had she anchored someone with her involvement in such a dangerous line of work? Evidence of foul play? Days after Paige's disappearance, a new lead surfaced. Her car, a red Ford Focus, was found burning in an industrial parking lot just a few miles from her home. Strangely, Paige was nowhere to be found. Her vehicle had been deliberately set on fire, possibly to destroy evidence. Yet the car contained crucial clues that seemed to suggest Paige had not driven it herself. The driver's seat was adjusted far back, too far for Paige, who was only 1.62 meters tall. Investigators theorized that someone much taller had been in the driver's seat. The most significant clue, however, was Paige's planner, still intact amidst the charred remains. But crucial pages detailing the 4 days before her disappearance had been torn out. Scattered items along the highway. As the search continued, more unsettling clues emerged. Alongside a desolate highway, Volunteers found Paige's personal belongings, her checkbook, Blockbuster membership card, and several items typically carried in a woman's purse. These items, discarded carelessly along the roadside, raised more questions than answers. Was Paige trying to leave a trail, or had someone else placed them there to mislead the investigators? The discovery of these items pushed the investigation into darker territory. Had Paige deliberately left them, or was someone else orchestrating the scene? Theories began to swirl, and the search expanded to the surrounding desert areas of Grand Junction, but Paige was still nowhere to be found. A phone call leads to a suspect. Amidst the confusion, one phone number stood out. On the day of her disappearance, Paige had received multiple calls from a man named Jim. The phone records revealed an unsettling pattern: calls made in the evening and the night before she vanished. Tracing this phone number led investigators to Lester Jones, a man with a disturbing criminal history. Lester had been convicted of kidnapping, assault, and sexual violence against his ex-wife. His connection to Paige was slim, yet compelling. He had made several calls to her, including the night of her disappearance, and his behavior was becoming increasingly suspicious. The man with a violent past. Lester Jones quickly became the prime suspect. His criminal background, combined with the timing of the phone calls and his proximity to the scene of the car fire, made him the most likely perpetrator. Investigators found unsettling evidence during their search of his workplace, including notes on escort girls, Viagra pills, and even a gasoline canister. Despite all the evidence pointing to Lester, he continued to deny any involvement. His denial, however, was beginning to fall apart as the investigation delved deeper into his life. A breakthrough after 5 years. 5 years after Paige's disappearance, a breakthrough finally came. A human skull was found in a dry river, about 90 kilometers from where her personal items had been discovered. DNA tests confirmed that the remains belonged to Paige. Forensic experts suggested that Paige may have been struck before her death, and the presence of duct tape indicated she may have been bound. The case now had enough evidence to charge Lester Jones with murder and kidnapping, though Paige's body remained a critical piece of the puzzle. Justice for Paige? In 2014, after years of waiting, Lester Jones was finally arrested and charged with the murder of Paige Birdfeld. His trial, which began in 2016, was fraught with challenges. Despite the overwhelming evidence against him, the case became more complicated due to the nature of Paige's work. In a surprising twist, the jury could not reach a unanimous decision, resulting in a hung jury. Public outrage followed, especially from Paige's family, who had waited nearly a decade for justice. But the case was retried later that year, and this time, the jury delivered the verdict everyone had been hoping for: guilty of first-degree murder and second-degree kidnapping. A long-awaited verdict. Lester Jones was sentenced to life in prison, but he continued to maintain his innocence. As his lawyers vowed to appeal, the haunting story of Paige Birdfeld's disappearance came to a close, offering no solace to those who had loved her. Paige's life, both its public perfection and its hidden darkness, was forever etched into the town's history. And while justice had been served, the questions and the tragic loss would linger in the minds of those who had known her. And just like that, after years of uncertainty and grief, the truth came crashing down. Paige Birdfeld's life was far more complicated and far darker than anyone could have imagined. The shocking revelations, the unexpected twists, and the terrifying discovery of Paige's final moments left her family and the town reeling. But this isn't the end of the story. The search for justice, the fight for answers, and the uncovering of a killer's true nature stretched far beyond what anyone expected. Paige's case is just one of many where lives are shattered, and the truth lurks in the most unexpected places. In our next video, we'll dive into the chilling case of how a single, seemingly insignificant mistake led to the exposure of a cold-blooded killer, a mistake that would unravel years of deception and ultimately bring the monster to justice. The shocking twist is something you won't see coming, and it will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about the nature of evil. So if you don't want to miss out on another story that will keep you on the edge of your seat, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This is the kind of case that could change the way you look at the world forever. See you in the next video, where we reveal how a single fateful mistake exposed a killer's darkest secret.